There was once a king called Shantanu. There was once a king called Shantanu. And Shantanu was the king of Hastinapura. Shantanu was walking by the river one day. Shantanu was walking by the river one day and he saw this extraordinarily beautiful woman. He saw this extraordinarily beautiful woman and he didn't stop to think. He went straight to her and said, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from, but please marry me. What? That's what he said. This beautiful woman was goddess Ganga. She was goddess Ganga in human form. She was goddess Ganga in human form and she said, King, I will marry you. But I have one condition. I will marry you. I have one condition. The condition is, she said, I will be a faithful wife. I'll marry you, discharge my duties. But whatever I do, my actions, you will not question. You should not ask me any questions no matter what I do, and you should not ask me where I am from, who I am, or the true nature of my origin. The king didn't think. The king said, okay, no problem. And they got married. All of us are faced with this situation in life. All of us are faced with the situation where we are in a state of reality and we also have a desire. We are in a state of reality and we are in a state of desire. If we stand in a state of reality, look at our desire and make peaceful, step-by-step progress, one day you will reach your desire, no questions, no doubt. However, if you put yourself in a state of desire and look at your reality, you will get frustrated. What does this mean? Reality, my desire is, I want to look like Tom Cruise. I want to have like a really built body, look macho and all that. Reality is this, I'm this puny little guy. I'm not like that. If I put myself in my state of reality, look at my desire and make peaceful step-by-step progress. Work out, go to the gym, eat properly, diet properly, every single day, step by step. One day I will reach here, guaranteed, no doubt. Instead, if I put myself in my state of reality, in my desire, and think, I want to be like this, but why am I like that today? I will get frustrated. King Shantanu did not put himself in a state of reality. He did not look at his desire, which is to marry Ganga, and make peaceful, step-by-step progress. He saw Ganga and said, please marry me. Ganga said, okay, this was a condition, and they got married. And they got married. After some time, they had a child. They had a baby. Ganga took the baby in her hands, walked to the river, dropped the baby in the river, and the baby drowned. The baby drowned and died. Shantanu was horrified. What did she just do? He wanted to run there, catch hold of her and ask her, why did you do this? But he did not ask. Why did he not ask? Because of the condition and because of the promise Shantanu made. He made a promise that he will not ask any questions, and he gave value to his promise. Lesson number 2. If you make a promise, keep it up. If you think you cannot keep it up, don't make the promise. Simple? Simple. Shantanu did not ask any questions. Another child was born. Ganga took the second child, walked over to the river, dropped it in the river. The second child drowned and died. Third child was born. What did Ganga do? Same thing. Fourth child? Same thing. Fifth child? Same thing. Sixth? Same thing. Seventh child? Same thing. Ganga took the seventh child to the river, dropped it. The child drowned and died, and Shantanu was miserable. The eighth child was born. When the eighth child was born, Ganga took the eighth child in her hands, and Shantanu could not hold himself any longer. By this time, he was so furious and sad, and he was in agony. He went to Ganga, caught hold of her, stopped her, and said, "Stop! What are you doing? Who are you?" Ganga turned around and said, "King, you have broken your promise. And therefore, the time has come for me to leave you. The time has come for me to leave you. But before leaving, I will tell you who I am, where I am from, and the reasons for my actions." What Ganga did, was it right or wrong? Right. Dropped 7 children in the river. At the outset, killing your own child, killing any child, killing anybody, of course it's wrong. But let's listen to what Ganga says. Ganga said, "I am goddess Ganga." It's the first time she's telling Shantanu this, and still now Shantanu did not know that she was goddess Ganga in human form. Shantanu did not know that. "I am goddess Ganga, and I was born and I did this because as a result of sage Vasishta's curse on the 8 Vasus. Vasus are Hindu gods, elemental gods in Hinduism. They are 8 in number. Aha, Anala, Anila, Soma, Dhara, Dhruva, Pratyusha, Prabhasa. 8 elemental gods. And these 8 gods were one day holidaying with their wives on a mountain. They were going on a holiday. And in that mountain, while they were walking on the mountain, they found sage Vasishta's ashram. An ashram is like a small hut that rishis and sages used to live in. They found that ashram. And outside this ashram was Vasishta's divine cow called Nandini. Now this cow was no ordinary cow. Very beautiful, very pretty. She was radiant and glowing. So these wives were so enamored by the beauty of this cow. They huddled around this cow and was looking at it intently. Wow, so beautiful and so pretty. One of the wives, Prabhasa's wife, turned to her husband Prabhasa and said, "Can you please get that cow for me?" Prabhasa said, "No, I can't do that. That's Vasishta's cow." She kept asking, "Please get the cow for me. Please get the cow for me. I want that cow. Please get it for me. Please get it for me." And eventually Prabhasa said, "Okay, I'll get it for you." And he went, along with the help of the other 7 Vasus, he stole the cow. He stole the cow and they disappeared. After some time, sage Vasishta came home. This is like a very powerful sage. He found Nandini missing. He closed his eyes and immediately found out all that had happened, and he cursed the 8 Vasus. He cursed the 8 Vasus. What did he curse them? He cursed them saying, "You gods, you are behaving in such petty ways. You are behaving like human beings. Go be born as human beings." That was his curse. Why is that a curse? It's a curse because for a God who enjoys all pleasures, no pain, no homework, no having to listen to parents, no eating vegetables, absolutely nothing. God doesn't have to do any of it. For him to be born as a human being and go through all the pain that we go through today, including shoveling snow, for a God to do that, for a God to come to earth and do all this and suffer this pain is miserable. So they found out about the curse and they were like, "Oh my God, what did we just do? Now we have to go be human beings." So they ran to sage Vasishta, fell at his feet and said, "We are so sorry. Here is Nandini. Take him back. Take her back. We don't want to be born as human beings. Please take back the curse." Vasishta said, "I'm sorry. The curse has escaped my mouth. It has been said. I cannot take it back. I cannot take it back." And these 8 Vasus were pleading, begging. So Vasishta said, okay, I cannot take the curse back, but I can reduce the effect of the curse. They were happy. They asked, how? They said, you still have to be born as human beings, but you don't have to live your entire life as human beings. You don't have to live for 80 years, 100 years as human beings. Go request goddess Ganga to be your mother on earth. Request her. She will say, okay. And as soon as you're born, ask her to take you as a baby and drop you in the river and drown you. So you can die as human beings and come back and become God again. So these 8 gods went and requested Ganga. And Vasishta also said, this reduction in curse I grant to 7 of you, not 8 of you. Since Prabhasa was the god who actually stole the cow, I am not going to reduce the effect for him. He has to live his entire lifetime on earth. To 7 of you, I give this reduction. So these people went and requested goddess Ganga. Ganga came down to earth, married Shantanu, had the 7 children, dropped them in the river, and those 7 Vasus went back to being gods again. The 8th one, yes, the 8th one, what happened to the 8th one? Devavrata. The 8th one, Ganga took the 8th child with her, raised him for a few years, came back, gave him back to King Shantanu and said, King, this is your 8th child. His name is Devavrata. Repeat after me. Devavrata. 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 He has learned the Vedas from Vasishta and he is skilled in all forms of science and archery. Very powerful. He was by now a young boy. Ganga gave this son, Devavrata, back to King Shantanu and disappeared. What do we learn from this? Everything has a reason. Everything has a reason. We may not know the reason why something happens. It could be because of something that happened yesterday, day before yesterday, last week, last month, last year, a decade ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 1,000,000 years ago, worlds apart. Doesn't matter. We don't know the reasons. Only thing we can do is accept why things are happening and just do our duty. Today we have to study and do our homework. Today we will study and do our homework. Why? That's our duty. That's our duty today. Today we have to cook. Today we will cook. Tomorrow what happens? Nobody knows. Today we will do whatever is our duty.